Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Saturday morning practice. We'll be spending the next hour and a half together on what we call the boot camp for chi therapy. So today we alternate every week. If you're new here, we alternate every Saturday. This Saturday, we're going to end up with a set of exercise that we call the Jing, and I'll explain that in a minute. But we're going to start with some massage, some tapping, some acupressure, basically doing a full body chi massage. Okay. All right. So we're going to start with our left hand. At the palm of a hand, we're going to use our right thumb and we're going to locate these fingers, locate the joints within the fingers, and we're going to just gently massage the joints from the front to the left, back to the front, and then to the right. And after we finish one joint, we move on to the next one. After we finish one fingers, we move on to the next fingers. So basically, what we're doing here is we're not really massaging the joints as much as we're massaging what's called fascia, right? So in some corners of the world, we identify it with fascia. Fascia means myofascia, basically the connective tissue between the muscle. So there's a new discipline called fascia massage, which are a little bit different from the regular kind of massage. But here we are actually working beyond the membranes of the muscle. Deep, fundamentally, we believe that the membrane between the cells is an important communication channel in our body that has been ignored by the Western scientists. Now we're going to use the left thumb, and we're going to work on the right hand. Again, one finger at a time, one joint at a time. So here, what we're really doing is massaging in between the muscle and the bone, right? And relieving some of the pressure, maybe some of the dryness in the membrane. There's increasing understanding now of the importance of the membrane. All right, now we're going to finish. We finished the palm of the hand, so now we're going to work on the back of the hand. Same thing, fingers by fingers, joint by joint, using the right thumb and massage the front, the left, and the right. So the relationship between the chi, which is often explained as life energy, is really the flow, the flow electricity, if you will, within these membranes, within these fascias, and they actually have a tremendous correlation with um, inflammation, inflammation in the body, and particularly in the inflammation in the fingers, which we call arthritis. Right? That's clearly a form of inflammation. Now I'm going to use the left thumb and work on the right hand. And so you find that as you do this, there's some relief. There's some relief in the pain. Reducing inflammation means reducing the pain. But actually, what you find is that it not only relieve the pain in your fingers, it actually relieve the pain in the rest of the body, the shoulders, the arms, and so forth. Because it's arthritis is everywhere, inflammation is everywhere. All right. Now we're done with the joints. So now we're going to work on the fingertips. So first we'll work on the back of the hand, and we're going to use the thumb and the index finger on the right hand, and we're just going to squeeze around the nail. Okay, the two corners of the nail. So both the Indians and the Chinese recognize this flow energy. Okay, they may not know how to visualize that energy using the eye, but they can visualize it when they're in deep meditation. And so the Indians and the Chinese have the different ways of conceptualizing these energy. All right, so now we're done with the fingertips. So we'll continue to work on the back of the hand, and now we're going to get to the knuckle. All right, so I want you to kind of roll the fingers back. You don't have to squeeze it that hard. And then use the edge of your right thumb and just kind of put that in between the knuckle and then kind of massage that. And you find that there's a little bit of tenderness, pain, and and which is a good sign. So every time you work on these energy points, and you find that they're a little bit painful, you find that over time the pain will go away, and when the pain goes away, you actually have great relief. Okay? All right. So now we work. Oh, I forgot. So now we work on the back of the hand, and so in between the fingers, the individual bones, and then eventually the joint at the wrist. So again, you use the edge of your thumb and just kind of slide through that, one finger at a time. And then now these fingers, these individual bones, they join together at the wrist. So if you use just two fingers and you put that on top of the wrist, you find that there's like two dimple, and then you just kind of put some pressure on that. And then now what we want to do is want to focus on the thumb and just kind of massage the thumb with the right thumb, massage the left thumb with your right thumb. Okay. Usually when you have arthritis, the thumb goes first. Right. The thumb is an important part of it. We actually never stop using it from the day as soon as we wake up to the minute that we go to sleep. Try using your thumb. You can't do anything without the thumb. All right. So now we finished with the left hand. Now we're going to go to the right hand. Once again, we start at the fingertips. The fingertips around the corner of the nail is actually identified as energy points. Now we're going to work in between the knuckles. Once again, using the edge of your left thumb and just kind of put that in between the knuckle. Now, this is something that I want you to do on a daily basis. All right. All right. Now, and then in between the bones, okay, kind of slide in that in between the bones. All right. So I want you to develop that habit of never stop massaging your body. So when you're watching TV, just think about what we do on Saturday and just pick one thing to do. All right. Whether you're massaging your fingers or you're tapping your shoulder or you're tapping the side of your feet, whatever you can think about, just keep doing those exercises. All right. Now we finish with the wrist, right? So now we come to the thumb, especially if you're right-handed like I am. The thumb really hurts. Okay. So the other day, my wife see me do this, and she said, "Oh, what are you doing?" I said, "Oh, the finger hurts, so I'm massaging it." She said, "What's wrong?" I said, "What do you mean, what's wrong?" I've been going to school since I was 3.5, using my thumb, holding my pen, and then holding my pencil, and then and then now I use it to on my iPhone. I use it on my mouse. It never stopped. It's okay, It's been 64 years. All right, so now what we want to do is we come back to the center of the palm. There's an energy point here in the middle of the palm, and I want you to use your right thumb. Just come down, and then just kind of push into that. Now, this you need to know about this energy point. So I call this a chamber of labor. So this is the only energy point that can put out energy. So if you ever find yourself having to massage someone, uh, just keep in mind that this is your healing hand. Okay. Now I want you to put those 2 points together. Imagine there's a circle around that and just kind of rub your palms together. Okay. And then I want you to put the right hand on top of the left hand, the palm facing the back of the hand, squeezing the fingers and kind of massage. And then the other side. Okay, now we're done with the back of the hand. We come back to the palm of the hand. Once again, we start at the fingertips, and this time I want you to use the thumb and just gonna massage the fingertips. So there's some energy points here as well, and we're gonna be tapping that in a minute. And then on the other side, so hour and a half of worth of massage from the fingertips, from the fingers to the toe, from the top of the head to the bottom of the feet. That's a lot of work, huh? All right, so now the next set of exercise um, is well known. You will see lots of old people doing that in the park in Chinatown, whatever. It's well known exercise to maintain the integrity of your 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 the brain. Okay, now um, I said this almost every time we meet that my father died of dementia. So when I look back, I noticed that one of the first things that happens when someone suffers from dementia is that they lose motor functions, right? My dad used to drop things all the time. And so we didn't know that. We just thought, oh, I'm just getting old. But actually, when you suffer from dementia, the onset of dementia, the first thing that happens is that you can't control your fingers anymore, motor functions, right? And then it goes to the extreme where you become incontinent, right? So it's a whole series of events that has to do with the motor function, whole series of events that has to do with the memory, and then a whole series of events that has to do with your analytical part of your brain. So first exercise that we're going to do is we're going to work on the fingers, maintaining the mobility of our fingers, but also separating the left from the right. There's another thing that happens when people suffer from dementia is that they lose balance. They fall all the time because the left brain, the right brain, which controls the opposite side of the body, they start to lose that. They also have a tremendous, a really significant change in their behavior, mental behavior. Because the left brain and the right brain, that's one side is logical and the other side emotional. It start to kind of got all messed up. So this other exercise is very well known. We focus on one hand at a time, and we focus on one set of fingers at a time. So I want you to focus on the right hand. I want you to put the thumb in the middle. I want you to roll down two fingers. I want you to roll down the index fingers and then the little fingers. Same thing on the other side. The thumb, two fingers, index, little fingers. Now I want you to squeeze as hard as you can. Squeeze as hard as you can. And then I want you to open it back in reverse order. Back to the right hand again. Little fingers, index, two fingers, thumb. To the right, to the left, little fingers, index, two fingers, and a thumb. And then I want to stretch as hard as you can. That's one. Now we're going to do the second time. Back to the right hand, thumb, two fingers, index, little fingers. Thumb, index, two fingers, index, little fingers. Squeeze as hard as you can. And then open it back up in reverse order. Right hand first, little finger, index, two fingers, thumb. Little fingers, index, two fingers, thumb. And second time, stretch the fingers as hard as you can. And then we're going to do it one more time. Back to the right hand, thumb, middle finger, index, little one. Thumb, middle, two fingers, index, little one. And then one last time, squeeze as hard as you can. Open it back up, index, little fingers, index, two, one. Little fingers, index, two, one. And then stretch as hard as you can. All right. So there are more complicated sequence, but let's start here. All right. And at first it's kind of hard to coordinate, and now you know it's challenging, right? And then and this has shown to kind of reduce your risk of having dementia by separating the right brain and the left brain by exercising the motor functions in your body. All right. Now, the next set of finger exercise is also very famous, and it's populated by a retired professor in Taiwan who suffered a minor stroke, and this is his therapy, and it turned out to work really, really well. Okay. So once again, stretch, open, relax, and then now back to the fingers. Index and the thumb, squeeze as hard as you can. Index in the middle, squeeze as hard as you can. Index in the ring finger, squeeze as hard as you can. Index, I didn't mean to say index. I meant to say thumb. Thumb and the little finger, squeeze as hard as you can. Okay, all right. Replace is the thumb and the rest of the fingers. All right, I just misspoke. All right, so now we're going to put the thumb in the middle of the index finger and one more time squeeze. The thumb in the middle of the middle finger, squeeze, and then the ring finger, squeeze, and then the little finger, squeeze. Okay? All right, so now we're going to put the hand together, the fingers touching, the palm touching, and we're going to push as hard as we can. Sit up straight, and then bring the hands down. And then relax. One last thing we're going to do, and we're going to grab each of the left fingers on the left hand with the right hand, and we're going to pull those fingers one joint at a time. And then we're going to do the same thing on the right hand side. All right. So that's a lot of work, right? A lot of work. Now, if you didn't know already, everything that we do here is recorded. You just have to find them on my other social media platform, like YouTube and Facebook. And I encourage you to follow the recording and at least try to practice 2 or 3 times during the rest of the week. Okay, we do this we do this 6 times a week, 6 times a week, plus the evening sessions. All right, so now we're going to start a different modality called tapping. So we're going to put the fingers together. We're going to first tap the fingertips. So all the fingers tip touching and try to stretch out your fingers. Now, this requires some focus. So I want you to focus on the fingertips. Try not to think about anything else. And then we're just going to tap it 30 times. Get ready? Go. Okay, now we're going to cross the fingers. So 10 energy points here, and there's 8 energy points in between the fingers. And we're going to tap that 30 times as well. Okay, we're going to continue to tap, and then we're going to move from the fingertips to the palm and eventually to the shoulder, to the top of the head. So there are 2 energy points in the palm of the hand that are very famous. One is along the little fingers. The little fingers is the energy line that we name after the heart. Now, the word heart can mean both the organ as well as the mind. So this actually is the mind. Okay. Now, then there's another energy line that we name after the lung, which is on the thumb. And these 2 energy points right here is actually quite important. So, so first we're gonna work on the little finger side. So I want you to form a V with your palm. This soft part touching the soft part, and we're gonna tap that 30 times. All right, get ready, go. Okay, now we're going to move to the other side, which is the one that we name after the lung. So not only is this important for the lung, so it helps you breathe better, but as it turns out, it's also very important for digestions, right? And so we're going to put that together, and then we're going to tap that 30 times. Okay, all right. So the Chinese way of describing our body using the meridians and energy points are actually quite complicated. It really requires a lifetime of learning. And if you have any interest, there's plenty of resources. You can go to YouTube, look for that. You can go to Wikipedia. There's just really a lot of places where you can find that information. I think it's a good idea to explore, right? Learn on your own. All right. So, for example, they talk about the mind, the heart, the lung, and so forth. And it's very difficult to really relate that to the Western science, because Western science, we deal with components. The heart is right here, the lung is right here, and so forth. So, how could the energy point be here related to that? So, you have to take a step back and so say, hey, we're really not talking about components as much as we're talking about the system and the way that the Chinese historically have described energy system is based on the sun and the absence of the sun. And then in the absence of the sun, they talk about the 5 elements: the water, the vegetation, the fire, the soil, and the mineral. And so actually, when they talk about these energy lines, they're in terms of the 5 elements. So this is fire and this is mineral. Now, it just so happens that they're related to a particular function, organ, but that's really not the point. The point is really the balance of energy. All right. So these two are good. And this is on the what we call the yin side, the absence of the sun, away from the sun. So the other side is the yang, is facing the sun. And so we go from an energy line that we name after the mind to the one that we name after the small intestines. Kind of interesting how the two can be related. However, Western science are catching up. The Western science, there's a study that discovered that people who suffer from Parkinson, which obviously is the brain and the mind, typically have indigestion problems. So the small intestines and the mind somehow are related, but the Chinese understand that. And so we're going to work on another energy point that are named after the small intestine, which is on the yang side, just the part that facing the sun. And it's actually right here. So if you fold down your palm, you see this line, and it's just right here. So now we're going to put our palm together, but this time we open it flat, okay? And then we're going to make a soft fist, and we'll be tapping this point 30 times. Get ready? Go. Okay. So the other day, I think it was 2 weeks ago, I talked about how we visited a neurologist, actually the same neurologist that had took care of my father when he was suffering from dementia. But this time I went with my mom, who they thought may have some problem with peripheral neuropathy. It's the same doctor. So it's been a while since I saw her. And so we talk, and she found out that I actually teach class online. And so she said, and I mentioned that she said, "Oh, this is how I teach my students." So neuro, Neuro, and I'll go to them one at a time. N is for nutrition. So I believe in that. If you want to maintain uh, good health, and especially I mean, what's the point of having good health with your body and then lose your mind? Start with here. So nutrition is very important, right? Try to eat in such a way that reduces your inflammation in your body. Choose the right kind of oil. Choose the right kind of thing. Stay away from sugar. We talk about all of that. But one of the things that I talk about is really the intestinal health. Okay, so the small intestine is very important. Pay attention to probiotics. Try not to consume probiotics, but rather think differently by saying, what does it take to create this really environment in your stomach that allows probiotic to grow naturally. Think about natural, right? Natural. All right. Okay. So after we're done with this, we go to the yang side of the lung, which is again the mineral side of the energy, and now it's on the other side. And interestingly, is the energy line that we name after the large intestine. So you understand how the stomach works. So the small intestines is where all the food is fermented. That's a big part of the digestion. That's why you need probiotic. And then once it's done, it goes into the large intestine, which is basically just absorb the water and then put out the waste. So it has a big part to do with the detoxification. So it makes sense that it's on the other side of the lung. The lung is where the nutrient comes in, right? Your life energy start with the lung, right? Obviously, right? It goes from the lung to the heart, and then it goes to the rest of the body. And then when it's all done, it goes out on the other side. That kind of makes sense, right? All right. So this point here is a very well-known point. We're going to come back to that, and it's called the merging valley. The reason it's called merging valley is that if you open up your thumb and your index finger, it seems like there's a valley, right? So we're going to take this energy point and just put it on top. We're going to come back to that. But for now, we're going to tap that 30 times. Small intestine, large intestine. All right? Get ready? Go. And then the other side. Okay. Now, lots of people have hypertension, right? As you get old, first thing they do is they say, oh, you need some high blood pressure medicine. Almost everyone has that. I have it. Everybody. I don't think I have it, but I mean, I'm aware of how important that is. You realize that 95% of the people that suffer from hypertension is called essential hypertension. That's the name that the doctor gives. You know what that means? What does essential hypertension means? It means that they don't know why. Okay, so they're treating as a disease, but they don't know why. It's a symptom, it's not a disease. Now, turns out that this energy point is very well known for reducing high blood pressure. All right. Okay, so now we're gonna learn how to massage that because it's that important. Okay, so now we're gonna come back to this point that we call merging valley. We're gonna do some acupressure. So once again, we open our fingers, and this time we're gonna pay attention to this edge here. And then we're going to come back to the right thumb. And this time we're going to pay attention to this line. So we're going to align this line with the edge and going to push down with the thumb. Okay. Now we're going to push as hard as we can. And then we're going to lean towards the index finger. And then you say, oh, it's really sore. All right. I'm going to hold that part, hold that. All right. This is how you now, as it turns out, this energy point is also very good for reducing pain in your body. Okay, so if you're toothache or you have a muscle cramp or any kind of pain, this is a good one. Now we're going to move up to the bend, and this is called the palm at the bend, and put some pressure on that. All right, so this is another energy point that's famous for high blood pressure. All right, now we're going to go the same thing on the other side. Use the thumb aligned with the edge. Push down as hard as you can, and then lean towards the index finger. Hold it, and then we're going to come up to here and then just hold it. Okay. All right. So these two are very important. So how do you reduce your blood pressure, especially when you go to the doctor, right? How do you do that? You meditate. Okay, you're gonna have to wait for 10 minutes anyway. Just sit there and meditate. We're gonna come back to the meditation. All right, so there's a method of meditation that lowers your blood pressure. All right, because blood pressure again is a symptom. There are two big reasons for that. One is that you're not getting enough oxygen into your brain, and this part of the body senses that, and it increases your blood pressure because you need more oxygen. So if you knock down the blood pressure without knowing why, now you get even less oxygen into your brain. That's not a good thing. The other reason is that you're under so much stress. You have tremendous amount of stress. You're actually, you're constantly pumping stress hormone using in your adrenal gland, and so you need to kind of learn how to do that. Learning to understand the difference between fight or flight and rest and digest. Understanding the balance between the autonomous system. We're gonna do all that. Okay, we're gonna do all that. All right. So now we come to a different modality called scraping, and we're going to be scraping these energy lines. The one in the center is called the pericardium. That's the heart. That's really the muscle around the heart. And then slightly above but below the bone is the one that we name after the lung. Then the bone, then the other side is the large intestine, and then in the middle is something we call triple warmer, which has no Western equivalent. Okay, all right. So before we do that, though, let's get to know some of the important energy points. So I talk about the little fingers. I talk about the thumb. This one being the heart, but it's really more the mental side. This one being the lung. So I want you to come down on the little fingers until you get to the wrist, and you notice that there's a little indentation here. So I want you to. This is a very famous energy point. This is how you get a good night's sleep. All right, and then over here, and another one over here. This is good for your lung. All right. Now in the middle one is the pericardium. You come down to the wrist. You measure 3 fingers. You put your thumb here, and this is very important for regulating your heartbeat. Whether sometimes you have your beats too fast, beat too small, you're not regulated. So this is a good one. Back here, this one under the little fingers, under the thumb, and then right here in the middle. All right. Okay, so for those of you who are interested in this, just look it up. Just look up the lung meridian, or the pericardium meridian, and they will identify all the energy points. The Western ways of understanding these energy points are by number. So that this could be L1, L2, L3, so forth and so on, right? And then there's a whole bunch of literature that talk about the importance of that. All right, so now we're ready to do some scraping, and I just want you to know that we're scraping from the elbow to the wrist. We're gonna come back to the elbow. There's three energy points here as well. We're gonna use our scraping tools, which is the knuckle. I like this because I carry it with me everywhere. I don't have to have an additional tool, right? And so we're going to start at the elbow to the wrist along the center line, and we're going to scrape, all right? Now, the Western scientists are starting to they get very curious about scraping. They're trying to understand how scraping can reduce pain, and they start to think that, oh, maybe there's some kind of mechanism that we are totally unaware of that are just right under the skin, that somehow when you do this it reduces some kind of agent that reduces the pain. Okay, that's fine, that's fine, that would be fine too, right? Now we're done with the middle one. That's a pericardium. We're going to move up to just right below the bone. Okay, so that's fine, right? But I like to be consistent, and I'm just saying that there is a communication system in a body that the Western scientist hasn't identified yet, but start to understand that they have ignored, which are the membranes. Okay, okay. Now we're going to scrape the bone, and I'll explain why we need to scrape the bone in a minute. But you do need to scrape the bone, and as you scrape the bone, I want you to feel any kind of kinks. And if you have kinks, that's blockage, and you need to keep working on it, and the kinks will go away. All right. Now I want you to continue to work on the other side of the bone, which are the energy line that we name after the large intestine, and then in the middle, and then the back of the hand, the thumb, the fingers, the back of the hand, and then the thumb again, and then straight up in the middle, and then roll your hand until you're on one side of the bone, on top of the bone, another side of the bone, and then in the middle, always from the wrist to the elbow. And then one last one is the one that we name after the heart, the mind, and start here. Okay, there's about 2-3 inches. There are 4 energy points here. This whole line, one of the benefit of working on this line is that it will get you better sleep. Right. So the problem with as we get older is that the quality of sleep deteriorates. We can sleep maybe the first hour and a half when the body is tired, and then once the body recovers, then the quality of sleep deteriorates, and this is a bad thing. So the neurologist, who is my friend now, NEURO, R means restorative sleep, restorative sleep. So pay attention to how you sleep. Okay, so towards the end of the class, when we do the meditation, I'm going to mention how to use that meditation technique to improve the quality of sleep, so you can actually use the sleep to recover. Okay, and so try if it takes an hour for you to go to sleep, that's really bad. Okay, I usually for me it's 2 or 3 minutes, and I can go to sleep, and oftentimes I'll sleep through the night. Sometimes I have to get up in the middle of the night just go to the bathroom because I drink too much tea. But most of the time I can sleep through the night. Now, in the event that you wake up in the middle of the night, you have to go to the bathroom. Just keep in mind, okay? Come back to bed as soon as you can. Don't try to do anything else. Don't use your phone. Don't 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 try to warm up some milk. Don't do anything. Okay? Just don't look at the light. Right? And try to go back to sleep as quickly as you can, because it's NEURO. R is restorative sleep, right? All right. So now we're going to work on the right side quickly from the elbow to the wrist, back below the bone, back on top of the bone, back the other side of the bone, back in the middle, back, and then the back of the hand, the fingers, the thumb, the back of the hand, and then and then rotate the fingers until you get back in the middle. All right. And then over here, one last energy line and finish. Okay, so this is an important exercise. This is an important exercise. So many of you have carpal tunnel, I'm sure I do, right? And a good friend of mine, good friend of my wife, actually, she came to visit us. She runs a bagel shop. So every morning she gets up at 5 and she started her work making sandwiches. And she's younger than me, younger than us. And she just told us that, oh, she has this thing with the carpal tunnel. And it was so painful that she finally had to take injection. And I said, oh, that's really bad. That's really bad. So carpal tunnel it's a very painful phenomenon. I used to have that, and I had to take pain medicine and all that. And it's really right here, right? Right here is carpal tunnel, and it's developed because you're working with your fingers all the time, and repetitive motion, right? And you're not doing the right kind of exercise to relieve the chi, but at the same time your posture is really bad, right? You're making sandwiches or you're using your computer or whatever, and you're always hunching like that, and you're not exercising this part. So what happened is that the chi is blocked here and the chi is blocked here, and then the middle is where you're suffering. So if you have carpal tunnel, um, do more scraping. I do this 2 3 times a day. I refuse to take injection. Injection is steroid, and the problem is that they inject steroid, it relieves the pain, and then the steroid will leak. And then the next time when the pain comes again, then um, it when it comes back, it's going to be worse than the first time. So this is something that I do. Just scrape, 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 right? Why do you need steroid? Well, because steroid reduce inflammation. But wait a minute, under steroid in your body already called cortisol, right? When you have hemorrhoid, you should take preparation H, that's hydrocortisone, right? Or when you have itching, and you go to the doctor and they give you a little bit of hydrocortisone. So cortisol is steroid. Steroid is to reduce inflammation. You have so much of it in your body. Oh, because you have too much. You have too much. You're under stress all the time. You don't know how to put yourself back into the rest and digest. So you develop something called cortisol resistance. You have so much cortisol in your body, and yet the body doesn't react to it. That's why the doctor have to give you external dose, right? It's the same with diabetes. I'm type 2 diabetes. My father's type 2 diabetes. And type 2 diabetes is when you have too much insulin, not because you don't have enough. And what do? They give you more insulin. All right. So now another exercise is very good for your fingers and for carpal tunnel is do this. All right. So we're going to continue. We open our shoulder, stretch, relax. We're going to point all fingers towards the front, lock the elbow. We're going to roll up the four fingers. The four fingers are the spring, and then we're going to hold down the spring with the thumb. We're going to wind up the springs, and then we're going to say one as hard as you can, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, and 10. All right. So you have arthritis in your fingers, you have carpal tunnel, you have frozen shoulder, and then you also have something called the dowager bump, right? Which is really the chi block in its all, and each takes a specialist. Where it's the same problem, it's just inflammation. So the next thing we're going to do is work on the shoulder. So for those who have carpal tunnel, do this, do this. Those of you who have frozen shoulder, do the next one. All right. I have frozen shoulder, this one right here. Okay. And I refuse to take medicine. If you take pain medicine is a toxin, right? It's external. So the you're putting a lot of stress on the kidney when you take too much. When you're constantly taking pain medicine, or when you have put those patches on that you can buy from Costco on sale. Those are also very bad for your kidney. So try to stay away from that. Use it when you need to, but think about the cause and not the symptom. All right. The cause is inflammation. And right kind of exercise, the chi therapy is all about that. All right, so I want you to stretch your spine, open your shoulder, lean back, and relax. Now, when you open your shoulder, two very important energy point is open up called um, um, the gate of the cloud. Okay, this is part of the lung energy line. So now I want you to take your hand. I want you to take the thumb and the middle finger. I want you to squeeze that, and then I want you to take the three fingers and stretch that. This is called the lotus hand. I want you to put the lotus hand on the gate of the cloud, and I want you to open the shoulder, relax. Back of the hand facing the camera. Get ready. Go. Back of the hand facing the camera. Come back. Lotus hand, right? Squeezing the thumb and the middle finger, stretching the other three. Put that back on the shoulder. Open the shoulder once again. Get ready. Back of the hand facing the camera. Two. Back, lotus hand, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, and 10. Okay, so this one is very good for your frozen shoulder. Um, Next week or the week before, we do a lot of joint exercise. So those joint exercises are also very good for the frozen shoulder. Now, the next thing that people often have is what I mentioned earlier called the Dowager's bump, which is a blockage right here. Or if not Dowager's bump, at least a lot of pain in the neck and indescribable kind of pain. And very often when you take high blood pressure medicine, this is a common problem because you're just not getting enough blood flow into your head. Okay, and the high blood pressure medicine just makes it worse. So I want you to learn to massage the back of your neck. Because what happened now is that we're starting from the fingertips, we'll work into the shoulder, and now we're going to work towards the top of the head. So first, the back of the neck. Okay, I want you to sit up straight, open your shoulder, lean back, relax. I want you to take your two hands, lock the fingers together, put that in the back of your hand. I want you to lean back so you're looking straight ahead. And then I want you to use the thumb and slide down the two sides of the neck. And there's a very obvious indentation here. This is called the pond of wind. Now, the Chinese think about wind as something that you cannot see, you cannot taste, you cannot smell, you can only feel. So wind is our way of saying no, no. Okay. So this is all about the neural that coming to your head. Okay. Now I want you to push with your thumb. I want you to lean back the neck to provide some counter pressure, and I want you to maintain the pressure. Feel the numbness as if you're squeezing the rubber hose. And then I want you to let go and relax. Let the chi go to the top of your head. Now I want you to take the right hand, put that on the left side, sit up straight, push down with four fingers, lean back with the neck. And then now I want you to take the left side of the neck and just gently pull it towards the right, as if you're opening a channel. Same thing on the other side. Push down with the four fingers and just gonna gently pull it towards the right, the left, as if you're opening the channel. And then now I want you to take the right hand, four fingers below the ear, and I want you to kind of massage. But it's important that as you massage, you whisper to yourself, saying, relax, relax, relax. Now the other side, relax, relax, and then relax. Now, put your finger on top of the head, and I want you to just lie on the bone, the skull, and relax, relax, relax. It's very important that you learn to whisper to yourself, relax, relax, and then relax. I want you to use your two thumb back to the palm of wind. And now this time I want you to do some massage with your thumb. And I want you to move towards the ear on top of the bone. There's the two energy point here that are very good if you have a hard time falling asleep. You just want to massage those 2 points. Now I want you to put the thumb on one side and the fingers on the other and just kind of squeeze the neck, squeeze the energy points, and then move down to the middle and then squeeze the two more energy points here. And then I want you to move further down and just kind of grab the back like this. Okay, do it inside your clothes and then move back up All right. So these two are also energy points. So we come to that. And now we're going to work on the side of the neck. And so I want you to take your hand, use the edge of your palm, and just kind of scrape the left side of your neck. And then tell yourself to relax. And then I want you to put your fingers on top of this cavity. This is called the well on the shoulder. And just kind of massage that. And then now move to there. Now there's a what we were before. And then massage that. This is called the door of wind. And then move to the other side and massage that. And then now massage the shoulder. Once again, whisper to yourself. Just relax, relax, relax. Okay? All right. The side. Scrape the side of your neck. And then massage. Massage here, there's a cavity. Massage here, there's a cavity. And then just massage. All right. Okay, so now we're done with the back of the neck, the side of the neck, and now we're going to work on the face. Okay. And before we do that, we'll come back to this energy point. Remember this one? And just kind of put your thumb on that. Put your thumb on that. As if you're activating that energy point. Put the two together, then your palm together. You're going to do a little bit of self healing by massaging the face. Tell yourself to relax. Feel the warmth in the middle of your palm. Massage the side of the face. And then massage the temple. And then massage the forehead. I want you to start and in between the eyebrow. And then work on the front part of your forehead. And then where it touches where the hairs begins. And then now I want you to work on the top of the brain. It's very important to understand that the brain has three very important functions: cognitive, memory, and motor function. We need all three. We need all three. All right. So now, as you massage the top of the head, I want you to say, "Thank you." Right. Show your appreciation, your gratitude. Right. You need your brain to be your traveling companion all the way to the end. And then now to the top, that's the memory. A little towards the back is the memory. And then as you come down to the lower part, that's your motor function. And then the neck. And then the side of the ear. And then the front of the face. And the side of the face. And then the hands, right? We spend so much money to go to a third party for for loving kindness to our body, right? We have someone work on our nails, we have someone work on our hair, we have someone work on our face, we have someone work on our teeth, we have someone always going to the third party, exchanging loving kindness to a body with money. Whereas you should really be doing that on your own. We don't pay enough attention to our body. We think our body is we don't understand that the body is just a traveling companion, right? You should thank your body, show appreciation in your body, the gratitude to your body. That's how you heal, all right? Okay, so now we're going to massage the face. Massage the face, all right? Starting with around the eye. There's three energy point above, three energy point below. The first one is right here. Now, this one is named after the bladder. So if you have an interest in studying the meridian, this is actually either the second one or the second to the last, depending on how you count. So the last one is here, and this is the one before the last, or this one is the first, and this is the second. I forgot the numbering system. So you take your index finger, you put that in the beginning of the eyebrow, you feel that there's a dimple, like, and you just press down on it with your index finger. You sit up straight. You use a little bit of your neck to provide the counter pressure, and then relax. Now put the fingers in between the eyebrow and just massage your eyebrow. All three energy points are on your eyebrow. And I want you to massage like you're squeezing your toothpaste. So this is not just about massaging the energy point, it's also about squeezing the oil tube. Right? So as we age, we get dry eyes. We get dry eyes because we don't have enough oil. We don't have enough oil because the oil tubes are all blocked. So you need to learn to kind of massage that. All right. And then we're going to massage below the eyes, starting at the corner to the tail, underneath the eye bag. All right. All right. So one reason you don't have good skin is because you don't have enough collagen. And collagens and melatonins have one thing in common in that they're afraid of the cortisol. They're afraid of cortisol. So you have too much cortisol, too much stress hormone in the body, you're not going to have melatonin. You're not going to be able to fall asleep. You're going to have bad skins because the cortisol, the collagens would not be there for you. All right. So you need to learn to massage and relax. All right. Now we're going to come back to a very important energy point called the bright eye. This has it's the energy point. It's the nerve center for glaucoma. Okay. So I want you to put your thumb at the corner and move up slightly, so you're like on the eye socket. Okay, now if you're sensitive to your body, you actually can feel a little dimple. Now I want you to push with your thumb, sit up straight, close your eye. It's time to do some eye yoga. Okay, so as we get old, we have something called the lazy eye. Okay, and so now we're gonna close your eye. We're gonna do some yoga with your eyeball, and I want you to rotate the eye up as if you're looking at the ceiling, and then rotate to the right as if you're looking very far away, and then down as if you're looking at the floor, and then to the left, up, right, down, left, up, right, down, left. One more time, up, right, down, left, and then back to up. We're going to go the other way, counterclockwise, left, down, right, up, left, down, right, up, left, down, right, up. Okay, open. Very bright, huh? All right, so I'm going to massage some more. And from the corner of the eye to the corner of the mouth to the chin. Second time, last time. And then we're going to use the thumb. Start at the bottom of eye, move down until you feel the cheekbone, and you're just going to push up a little bit. Okay, this is also good to release stress before you go to sleep. Then we're going to put that outside. This is called a welcome fragrance. This is good for your sinus. Put some pressure on that. And then finally, we come here. This is where the body senses oxygen to your brain, and it's really the place where it tells your heart to increase blood pressure. All right, so now we go from the ear, eye to the ear. Ear is very important. It has the shape of the fetus and has all the energy points in your body all concentrated in one place. It's actually upside down, right? Just like the fetus has to turn around before it comes out. All right, the top part. So we put the thumb in the top, and we're going to squeeze, massage, put the thumb in the middle, massage, put the index finger on the middle, massage, massage the tip, yank, massage the edge to the ear loop, yank, put the thumb behind the ear loop, put the index finger outside, and just do a circular. And then now to the back of the ear. This is the part that is important for blood pressure. And so you know how the ear curve back like this, and just work on the back. And then use two fingers, one on the ear, one on the skull, top to bottom. And then same thing on the other side. Work on this fold, the back of the ear. And then two fingers, one on the ear, one on the skull. And then we're going to do one last thing, which is called drumming the ear. So we sit up straight, put the palm behind the ear. We're going to stretch the ear and then also close the ear, and then go 1, 2, and then one last time, 3. Okay? All right. So finally, we get to the top of the head. We're going to tap this energy point, which is called the 100 beat. This is where all the yang energy comes together. It's actually right here. Now, it turns out that there's also energy points on the fourth side. Okay, so what we do is we're going to tap that area. Now, before you do that, I want you to stretch your spine, open the shoulder, lean back, relax. I want you to focus on your forehead, lean back the forehead so the ears on top of the shoulder, tuck in the chin. So this 100 meat is on top of your central nervous system. Okay, I used to do this for my dad every day. I go over to his house, he sits in the sofa, and then I will massage. And then the one final thing as I do here, I do this, and then he regains a little bit of his memory. I would walk with him on the hallway. He gets past the bathroom. He looks in, looks very familiar. He walks in. He opens the cardboards. He recognizes his old spice. His tears coming down his eyes. He turns to me. He says, "Thank you for the memory." That's how big this is. All right. Okay. Now, 10 fingers on top. Has this straight down, huh? Not like this. Like this, huh? Okay. 30 times. Okay, so now this is called combing the head. What it really is that it energizes the skull, especially underneath the skin. So don't use your fingertip, fingernail. Okay, we're not scratching it. Use the tip of the finger and just very gently massage your skull and stay focused. All right, so make sure you're actually feeling the change, feeling the sensation on your skull one last time. And then now put all the fingers above the ear. Okay. All right. So got to the top of the head. So now we're going to work all the way to the bottom of the feet. We're going to be doing some more tapping. Come down to here. This is called the well on the shoulder. Open your shoulders, sit up straight, relax. There's an energy point here that we call the gate to the clouds. So two at the same time. We take our right hand. This is an instrument, a musical instrument. We use the empty hand. We put the fingers on top and the palm in front. We turn our head to the right. We listen with the left ear. Get ready. Wake up. And then 30 times. The other side. Open the shoulder. Relax. Left hand, empty hand, fingers on top, palm in front. Turn the head to the left. Listen with the right ear. Get ready. Wake up. Continue. Okay. Now the Chinese, they don't understand virus. There's no concept of virus. So they call it the bad energy, the evil energy, which makes sense. Virus and no life. It's just a form of energy. Okay. And they believe that if you maintain a proper chi in your body, then the evil chi will not be able to attack you. By proper chi means that you have to clear all the blockage of your chi channel and let the energy run through freely in your body, reduce inflammation, the whole work, right? Now, it turns out that they have identified 8 points where they do the tapping. So if you don't do anything else, you just feel like I'm just going to tap my body. Those are the 8 points. Now, they don't understand lymphatic system, right? They don't understand it yet. But they do, from experience, understand that those are the 8 points that would increase your immunity, preventing this evil energy from invading your body. They turn out to be the places where the nimnoks are, and the first one is right here. Okay, this is also the energy points on the mind, the heart, before it enters in the body. Now, so we're going to do a couple of things. One is that we're going to stretch this part. This is actually turned out to be a very important tendon, a muscle. Okay, so we're going to do that by locating our elbow, put the elbow on top of the head, sit up straight. So we're stretching this part. Then we're going to pinch the right side of the ear. And then we're going to take the right hand, empty hand, going to put that on the armpit. Turn the head to the right. Listen with the left ear. Get ready. Wake up. Continue. You don't have to hit yourself. You don't have to beat yourself in the submission. A very gentle tap would do. And then the other side, put your right elbow on top of the head, stretch this part, pinch the left ear, upper part of the left ear, turn your head to the left, take out your left hand, empty hand, put that on the armpit, get ready, go. Continue. Okay, so those of you who are interested in studying the meridian, this meridian is called the heart meridian, even though it's the mental heart. And you will find that this energy point, four of those, another four here, one here, and then finally here. So I don't know what the number is. Okay, so now we're going to move from one, there are eight of them, right? So this one to this one, all right? So this one. Also, again, this is a lot of nimnos. But from the Chinese perspective, it's just three very important energy points: heart, pericardium, and then the lung. So what you want to do is you want to lock the elbow, then you want to put the palm at the eye level. Then you want to take the right hand, empty hand. You wrap your palm around the elbow, fingers on top, and then the palm, the center of the palm on the side. You listen with your left ear. Wake up. Continue. Make sure you use empty hand now. And then the other side. Lock your elbow, palm on the eye level, left hand, empty hand, right ear. Get ready. Wake up. Continue. Okay, so now we're done with the upper body. Yeah, a lot of work for upper body, huh? All right, so now we're going to move to the lower body, which has another six meridians. And so I mentioned that I talk about blood pressure, right? So I said, well, half of the reason for blood pressure is not you're not getting enough oxygen into your brain. So you can improve that by your improving your lung and your heart capacity. So um, every other week we do a lot of yoga exercise called the pana yama, which has to do with breathing very deeply, and we do a little bit of that today. That's one half of the reason why you have high blood pressure, and the other half is the lower body, is the lower part of the body, which has to do with the liver and the kidney and all that. Especially has to do with the kidney, which controls the adrenal gland and putting too much stress hormone into your body, increasing your blood pressure. All right. So now we're working on the other half of the problem. And first, we're going to work on the inside, which are the yin, away from the sun. And above the knee is where the two energy point for the liver meridian. And so we're going to use empty fist. Right? Get ready. Go. Okay. And then continue to the second one. Get ready. Hang on just one second. Okay. Right here. Above the knee. Okay. All right. So now we're going to close the knee and we're going to go from the yin side to the yang side. The yin side we name after the liver. The yang side we name after the gallbladder. All right. Now, I think a couple of weeks ago, someone mentioned that her mom have pain in her legs at night. And I thought about that some more. And so turns out that working on the outside is very good to improve your circulation. The reason as we age, um, we tend to have problems with the feet because we're just not getting enough circulation. All right. So this one would help. So I want you to close your knee. Same two energy point on the outside. All right, get ready, go. And then another one. And then now that's above the knee. So we have three more energy points below the knee. We start with the knee. So if you this is your knee on the outside as you come down the first cavity. All right, get ready, go. And in the middle. And then further down, but this time I want you to start with the angle, measure 4 fingers, okay? On the outside, get ready, go. Okay, so this is facing the sun. This is also facing the sun. So this one we name after the gallbladder. This one we name after the stomach. There's a very famous energy point here. Is important for digestion. So I want you to locate the knee first. Measure 4 fingers. See the bone? Right outside the bone. And put your knees together and it's facing forward. Okay, get ready, go. Okay, now further down, 4 fingers right here. Okay, all right. So then we work on another yang energy line, which is in the back, also facing the sun. This one we name after the bladder. There's an energy point here, it's very well known. The scientist at the University of California has done a lot of work and find a correlation between this and dementia. There's also an important energy point for high blood pressure. So I want you to put that, that's right at the bottom of the calf, on your right knee and just kind of do that. And it's very sore. Then I want you to tap that 30 times. Okay, the calf is very important. The calf is really very important, and so that's why you want to do gentle exercise like walking or cycling or walking the stairs, and just make sure that you have good calf. Right, and then the other side, same thing, and then tap that 30 times. Okay, we're not done yet. We're now ready for the toes, right? And finally, the bottom of the feet. All right, so come back to the toes on the left side. And again, identify the toes, identify the bone, and identify the separation between the bones. I want you to use the right thumb, use the edge, and just massage. Come back, massage. Now, I want you to open up the big toe and then glide your fingers in. And before the bones merge together, there's a very important energy point here. I want you to push down on that, do some acupressure. Now, you notice the parallel between here and here. All 4 of these, left and right, are important for high blood pressure. Now, this one particularly is the energy point associated with the meridian um, that we name after the liver. And the liver meridians is active between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. And so if you have a habit of waking up in the middle of the night like that, is the Chinese medical doctor would say that you have too much fire in your liver. Okay. Now I want you to pull back on the thumb. You see this tendon? This is called the longevity tendon. I want you to scrape that. Then I want you to scrape the bottom of your feet, the heel, the ball area. Then I want you to massage the toes. And then I want you to scrape a very important area called the arch and start at the bone, come to the heel, and just scrape in a curve like this. This is a bottleneck for two very important energy lines. One we name after the splint and one we name after the kidney, particularly right below the bone. Scrape that. And then also in right below the ankle, scrape that. Then I want you to put some acupressure right behind the um, the ankle, and this is energy point associated with the kidney. Then I want you to locate another energy point 4 fingers above the ankle, right below the bone. This is called the three yin meet, or three yin energy lines meets here. Then I want you to scrape below the bone from the knee to the ankle. This is the splint energy line, SPLING. Okay. All right. So now we come back to the very important energy point called the gushing spring, and it's right below the ball area. And just do some acupressure here. I encourage you to walk with bare feet when you're inside your house. Okay. Make sure that this is always touching the ground. And then one last thing, just like we tap at the top of the head, we're now going to tap the bottom of our feet. You bent your toes back, you locate this point, you make an empty hand, you locate this point, you put the two together. We're going to tap that 30 times. This is called mixing the water and fire. This is fire, this is water. Get ready? Go. Continue. Okay, all right, we're done with one side. Now we come back to the right side. Using the edge of your thumb now, scrape in between, back, and then push down on this right before the toes meet together. Scrape some more. Bend back the big toe, see the tendon, longevity tendon, and then scrape the bottom of your feet, scrape the heel, scrape the ball areas, massage the heel, massage the ball area, massage the toes, and then very importantly, scrape the arch, especially right below the arch, right below the bone, and then right below the ankle, and then acupressure behind the ankle, and then acupressure 4 fingers up below the bone, and then scrape. And then tapping your center of your bottom of your feet. Okay, with the empty hand. Get ready. Okay, get ready. Go. Continue. Okay, get ready for a floor exercise. Huh? So there are a lot of things that I pay attention to make sure that I'm in good health, and it's all about harmony. So first thing I do is I always make sure that I have plenty of saliva. That I drink tea, but I don't find myself having to drink gallons of water. Right. So that tells me that I'm doing a good job in self-hydrating. But it also says that I am maintaining the balance between the fight or flight and the rest and digest. When you're in fight or flight, it turns off the saliva gland. That's why you're thirsty all the time. Okay, that's one indication. I make sure that the bottom of my feet is warm. Right, so it means that the circulation is good. I try to reduce as much pain as possible in my body by doing the right kind of scraping, tapping, all that. I'm still dealing with frozen shoulder. I'm still dealing with a little bit of carpal tunnel, right? But that's just life, right? The other thing that I pay attention to is my stool. When I go to the bathroom, I don't just flush. I get up, I clean myself, I look down, I check to see the condition of my stool. And if they're not together, that's the best sign. And if they're together but they float, that's the best sign. It floats because your gallbladder is not doing its job. It's not um, digesting um, the 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 fat, whether it's vegetable fat or animal fat, and they end up in your stool. That's why they float. Okay, so that's not good. All right. So a lot of little things like that. I make sure that um, I don't I sleep well. Three things: I sleep well, I shit well, and then I eat well. They turn out to be the important part of your life. As you age, you want to maintain those three functions. You know? Life is not so good if you cannot sleep, cannot eat, and cannot shit. Sorry. All right. So two more things. I talk about the eight places where people like to tap. Those happen to be the places where there are nim notes. So everyone understands the importance of nim note, right? So there are two more, four more. So we bend a knee, put the fingers in the back, thumbs on the side, straighten over the back, and 30 times. Okay, ready? Go. And one last one is right here. It's right here. Okay. Plenty of nim note right here. Okay. So now we're going to use our fist, put that here 30 times. Okay. Just 1 second. Someone asked the question, I think. All right. Good. All right. So now we're ready for our final exercise of the day called Jing Jing. Now, it's three words. The last word Jing means the the doctrine of this, right? So let's just say the book of. But the first two letter Yi means exchange, renewal, and then the second word means um, tendon, but it actually doesn't mean tendon. It means connected tissue. So this next exercise is all about renewal of the energy flow in your body, but it combines three elements that we all know is important as we age. The three elements of the exercise that we all know is important for maintaining a good health as we age. Number one, stretching. Number two, cardio. Number three, muscle, muscle maintenance, right? So it's very simple exercise, but it's very strenuous. The key is that after each strenuous exercise, we need to spend equal time in relaxing, maintaining the harmony between sympathetic and parasympathetic. Otherwise, you end up with too much stress hormone and you're worse than you begin with. So, energetic exercise by itself is good because it allows you to um, release the stress hormone, reduce the inflammation in your body, but we need to spend equal time to make sure that we can restore the sensitivity. So every exercise, every action is going to follow by paying attention to your breathing, meditating on your breath. The second thing that's important is that after this exercise, we need to sit down. Okay, don't just do this exercise and walk away. All right. Now it's a very simple exercise. First, we start with the bottom of the feet, then we rotate the toes inward. We lower the knee so we activate this energy point. This is called the second heart. Then we open the shoulder, relax the shoulder. Then we point the palm towards the floor. We bring the palm back slightly so we're creating a sharp way through the middle of a body. We lean back the forehead, we tuck in the chin so the top of the head where all the yang energy come together would be facing the heaven. Now, I'm going to say go. Don't listen to me. When I say go, you focus on the bottom, the center of your palm. You use your mind and your body together. Okay, get ready? Go. And then you relax. This is the part that I said is equally important. You get rid of yourself of any other thoughts. You just focus on your breath. You start from the beginning. I know I'm breathing in, and then I know I'm breathing out. That's one. Then the second one. I know I'm breathing in. I know I'm breathing out. This is equally important. This is to restore sensitivity to the stress hormone. Second time. Go. And then back to the breath. After two breaths, this is called spirit boosting palm. You ready? Go. And then back to the breathing. Don't skip the breathing, okay? The next one is called pointing, meaning that you take your thumb and you point at these two energy points called the one tail. You don't touch, you just form the half circle. You roll up your fingers. You imagine you putting two buckets of water on the thumb and you bring up those two buckets of water by bending your thumb upward. You're energizing your large intestine meridian. You're doing what modern people would be called detox. And then you relax without lowering your fingers. And you focus on your breathing. After two breaths, second time. Once again, relax the fingers, back to the breathing. One last time. And then lower your hands back to your breathing. Now is a good time to check the inside your mouth. When you relax properly, the inside your mouth should be wet. Okay? Meaning that you're in fact in the fight or flight, or in fact away from the fight or flight and into the rest and digest. Okay, now the third one is called beginner's mind. This is how the baby holds the thumb, energizing the heart meridian. So you put your thumb across, you roll up your fingers, you squeeze your fists as hard as you can, and then you open your fingers without lowering them, and you're back to your breath. Check the inside your mouth. Second time, and then open your fingers. One last time, and then lower your hand. Maintain focus on your breathing. Then you take a deep breath by putting your fists together in front of your belly button. And as you breathe, you raise your body. Relax. Now you put your elbows together and you focus on your back and you stretch your back. And then relax. Second time, put your elbow together and you stretch your back. And then relax. One last time. Stretch your back and then relax. Focus on your breath. Now you open your shoulder. You bring your fist above the head. You open your fingers. You feel the blood flowing to the fingertips. Okay. Now you roll your fist one joint at a time. One joint, two joint. You lock it with your thumb, and this is very cardio. So you're squeezing your fist as if you're pumping the blood into your heart, and then you relax. Let the blood come back to the fingertip. Second time, squeeze as hard as you can, and then relax. One last time, squeeze as hard as you can, and then relax. The next one is called stabbing the shoulder. You open your shoulder, you grab the daggers, you point your dagger onto your shoulder. You pay attention to the back of your neck where we're doing the massage, and you stab your shoulder. You feel the tightness in the back of your neck, and then you relax. Let the chi flow to the top of your head. Second time, open the shoulder, stab, and then relax. One breath, two breaths. One outside, stab, and then relax. Now you open. This is called a cross, and you're not punching, you're stretching. You're stretching the meridian on top of your hand. So first, you rotate your wrist. Then you roll your fist, take a deep breath, and you push as if you're pushing against two walls, and then you relax. Second time, and push, and then relax. After two breaths, one last time, roll your wrists, roll your fists, and you take a deep breath and you push, and then you relax. Make sure that the inside of your mouth is nice and wet, okay? It will become nice and wet when you really focus on your breath. This is called the front hanging. So you lock your elbow. You imagine there's a wall in front of you. Wrists, fists, take a deep breath and push, and then relax. Second time, push, and then relax. One last time, push, and then relax. Now the next two is all about muscle, maintaining muscle. Okay, now you do a chin up. So you look up, you see the bar across, grab the bar, and you use as much strength that you have to pull yourself up, and then relax. This is all about the muscle, especially right here. Okay. Second time, and then relax. One last time, and then relax. We continue. This I call this ripping the yellow page. You take a big old yellow page, you grab both sides, and you rip the sucker open, and then relax. Check the inside of your mouth. Second time, you rip. One last time, and you rip, and then relax. Completely relax. And then you put your slivers together. If you don't have any sliver, you're doing it wrong. Okay, swallow all the way down here. Now, the rest of this requires that you don't stand up. You're loosening up your knee as the way you should. Okay? Then you straighten up your back. You put your palm, you put the back of the palm together. You lower your palm without standing straight, right? You continue to bend your knee. You look straight down, you lock your knee, your elbow. You squeeze your fist one time, back of the hand touching, completely focused. Second time, completely focused. Third time, completely focused. You flip, so you're focusing on the center of your palm. Now, once again, don't straighten up your knee. Okay, continue to energize your energy point at the back of your calf. You breathe in, you breathe out, you breathe in, palm facing forward, lower your knee as if you're pushing a big rock, and you push. You take a deep breath, and then you breathe out. And then you slowly walk back to your seat, paying attention to the bottom of your feet. As you get close, you pay attention to the center of your palm. As you adjust your sitting position, you pay attention to your butt as you sit down. And we're going to meditate. Now, this set exercise, we were told that they were passed down by Bodhidharma, a North Indian yogi who visited China in the 4th century, who, among other things, were the creator of the Zen meditation, as well as the creator of the Shaolin Temple. And the original purpose of the exercise is that it allows the abbot of the Shaolin Temple, to maintain his health while he is secluding himself in a room that is about 9 feet by 9 feet. And so all the exercise is just within that very limited space. Now, Bodhidharma was named was the first uh, was the founder of the Zen Buddhism. It passed on one at a time to the fourth. The fourth met a crazy monk, and the crazy monk became the founder of a temple. The 49th abbot of the temple escaped communism and came to America and became the chairman of the North American Buddhist Association. And our master, Ju, was taught this technique by him. In addition to him being taught the same technique when he was 5 years old by his grandfather in Malaysia, who was a bodyguard for Dr. Sun, the founder of the Republic of China. So this technique has some history. Now, we want to do meditation. It's already 9 o'clock, it's past 9 o'clock. I want you to focus on this meditation technique. It has names, it has other names. Someone called this box breathing. It's actually used by the special force to allow them to put themselves into sleep in the shortest time. But also, it turns out that it improves the recovery time. And by box, they meant the four sides of a rectangle. You breathe in, you relax, you breathe out, and you relax. Just that. It's also called body scanning. And there's a report to show that people who practice this technique has a much less chance of having dementia. It's a very simple technique. Comes in two parts. The first part has to do with abdominal breathing. Abdominal breathing means that you're using your diaphragm. One important benefit of breathing with your diaphragm is that you're actually exercising between the fight or flight and the rest and the digest. So this technique by itself unlocks the self-healing power of your body. Let your body heal itself, restore the sensitivity to the stress hormone. So first we come to the posture. We stretch your spine. We lean back. We relax. We open the shoulder. We relax. We lean back the forehead. We tuck in the chin. We relax the eyelid. And then we put the tip of the tongue behind the teeth. Now we focus on the belly button. When you sense that you're breathing in, I want you to move the belly button forward, opening up the stomach, lowering the diaphragm. And when you sense that you're breathing out, I want you to bring the belly button back, collapsing the stomach, lifting up the diaphragm. Breathe in, open the stomach, lower the diaphragm, increasing your lung capacity. Breathe out, bring back the belly button, lift up your diaphragm, expelling all the stale air in your lung, in the bottom of your lung. It's just that simple. Breathe in, open the stomach. Breathe out, close the stomach. Let's sit, let's meditate for 3 minutes. We don't have that much time, so this is just a prototype. I want you to practice this on your own. Okay, we're going to continue. So the first part is abdominal breathing has a lot of benefit. Restore the sensitivity to the stress hormone, maintain the harmony between the two autonomous system. There's a side benefit, which is that it's massaging your intestines, okay, which is important if you want to have good intestinal health. But it also generates static electricity that the Chinese call qi. Now what we want to do is we want to cycle that electricity through a spine to the top of the head. The next one is actually very important to maintain cognitive health by using both the left brain and the right brain. We do that by maintaining a sitting posture, by continuing to focus on the breath, but this time we don't focus on the belly button. We let go of the belly button. We just sense our breathing. We know that we're breathing in. You can actually sense that your stomach opens slightly, something that you're probably not aware of before, but it's always there. And when you breathe out, you sense that your stomach actually collapses slightly. Now I want you to focus on the very bottom of your spine. As you breathe in, I want you to walk up the spine one step at a time as if the dragon is walking on your spine. Until you get to the very top of the head, and I want you to stretch that spine as you move up. And when you breathe out, I want you to stop at the top of your head, come back in the front, through the forehead, through the bridge of your nose, through the tongue, all the way down to the belly button. And I want you to lean back and relax. When you breathe in, stretch that spine until you get to the top. When you breathe out, relax, lean back until you get to the belly button. If you practice this with any kind of diligence, after a while, you notice some kind of energy is rising on its own. We call that the pearl. And you're the dragon, and you're just basically chasing the pearl. But it's important that you maintain free. That's why we call it the wandering dragon chasing the pearl. That when you get to the top of the head, you just let it be free as if there's a cloud on top of your head and the dragon is returning to the ancestral home. As you come down, you come back to the belly button. You go into the lower part of your stomach as if that is a cave where the dragon rests. You breathe in, you go up, you stretch. You don't stop at the top of the head. You go as far as you can. When you breathe out, you come back out from the cloud. You come back towards the stomach and you rest for as long as you can. Some people, the special forces, call this the box breathing. Some other people call it body scanning. But either way, it activates your brain, maintaining the separation of your left brain from the right brain, maintaining the cognitive health as you age. This is a 1,000-year-old technique called microcosmic orbit. We're going to sit for 3 minutes, okay? It's a very, very good technique. Okay, so we only spent 6 minutes total on this, but I want you to continue this meditation practice, maybe once a day, 15 minutes, 1% of the day. This is a very, very important technique for maintaining health, especially cognitive health, especially the self-healing, maintaining the harmony between the two um, autonomous nerve system, the fight or flight and the rest and digest. All right, so if you indulge me, I'd like to spend maybe a couple more minutes to do our prayer, the prayer that we always do at the end of the class, the serenity prayer. Except today, I'm going to do it with a little different twist. I call it the power of one. As you know, I came to the United States as a teenager in 1971. My first president was Nixon. He had just finished his running of the second. He just won his second term, and in high school there was something happening. I didn't know what it was. It was the Watergate. We used to have these old cathode tube. You probably never seen one of those in the cafeteria, and we were watching the hearing, the Watergate hearing, and eventually President Nixon stepped down, and his vice president, President Ford was my second president. He only lasted 2 years. He pardoned Nixon, and as a result, he didn't run for re-election. Then it was Carter. That was an amazing time. Carter was this guy who was a peanut farmer. Most of you don't know him. He was a normal person. He was a peanut farmer who was an engineer. Only person I know that was an engineer. He was a nuclear engineer. And he was in the Navy, and he was actually in the submarine. And he ran for president. He won. By all account, he was probably the worst president we ever have. But he was the best human being we ever had as a president. And he demonstrated that for the 50 years afterwards. So I dedicate today's prayer to President Carter, who just had his 100-year-old birthday, 100-year birthday. He's determined to live for another couple of weeks, hoping to see our first female president, first president of, not first, but second president of color. President Carter has the courage to stand up to what he believed, even though he was constantly ridiculed. After he served as the president of a country, he steps down and never stopped. He continued to work towards humanity. He built houses for the homeless. He went to Africa to eradicate diseases. He was a man of courage. He was willing to make this world a better world, even though no one believed in him. I want to have that courage. I want to have the courage to make this world a better place. President Carter also have the serenity and to accept that there's limitation to what he can do. We have to recognize that the only person we can change is the self. It's the power of one. And we have to have the serenity to accept that that's all we can do most of the time. President Carter is a man of wisdom. He knows the difference. I like to think that I also have a little bit of that wisdom to know the difference. My best wishes to President Carter. Let his last wish be true. All we need is a few more weeks. Thanks, everyone. See you next week. Thank you for the donation. Namaste. Bye bye. Xin nghỉ cho Kin. Okay, bye bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Thank you.